Lucas County commissioners have been asking for some big budget cuts, and now some officials are firing back. Two stern letters, one from the county prosecutor and the other from a common pleas court judge, are laying out why those cut requests are unreasonable. I-Team reporter Sean Hegarty joins us live with the worry over all of this. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sasha. Lucas County commissioners. They asked all departments and elected officials to make a 13% cut to their budget. Some offices got to 13%. Others are calling it unreasonable.
Both the Lucas County prosecutor and the Common Pleas court do not seem to be on board with making 13% cuts to their budget. In fact, in this letter from Common Pleas court Judge Michael Goulding, it says a 13% cut would mean cutting $1.8 million. Prosecutor Julia Bates says in this letter, a cut of this magnitude is entirely unacceptable and legally impermissible. Lucas County commissioners are projecting a tight 2027 budget, and that's why they've asked for the cuts. According to this budget analysis, some departments, like the treasurer and the auditor, say they'll hit the 13%. Prosecutor Bates says her office is mandated to perform strict statutory duties to ensure public safety and the administration of justice. A 13% reduction directly threatens our ability to fulfill these obligations.
The tricky part about all of this is county commissioners can't tell judges or prosecutors how to run their courthouse, and that's not what they're doing here. But county commissioners ultimately have control over the money.
Judge Goulding goes on to say the budget process has had problems. He says in his letter the judges were taken aback by the lack of planning and awareness on the part of the commissioners with regard to some of the current economic problems. The court went on to say in the letter, "We were certainly shocked by the commissioner's unexpected announcement of a catastrophic deficit in the health care fund, a fund that is the sole responsibility of the commissioners to viably manage."
County commissioners have said that they plan to hold public budget meetings, and we'll see what departments come in front of them and what that could include. Could include Common Pleas Court and the prosecutors. We'll watch to see that in the next few weeks, Sasha.